Hello, I'm Isabella Stevens of Computer Science Class 120, here to discuss Lab 3, my carbon footprint calculator. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about the variables inside of this calculator. As you can see, I already have the code compiled and I've already got it started up. I greet the user and then ask the user to input a variable. Now, this variable is string, a non-primitive type of code. And I title the variable username, and whatever the person inputs here will become that variable. Now I'm going to say I'm Mabel. The next line actually directly refers to the person, the user Mabel, as seen here. Now, the next variable is the primitive integer type, user miles. Now, what it's asking for is how many miles per year that I drive, and I'm going to say in this example that I've driven 500 miles. And after that, it directly says that I've driven 500 miles again, as seen right here, yeah. It's going to ask again for another variable type. This one's also a primitive type. This time I'm going to be labeled user mg, which stands for how many miles do you get for the gallon. Now I'm going to say in this example that I get 15.5 miles for every gallon. And of course this starts the first calculation needed, and it prints it out in a variable. This variable is another primitive double type called user gas, and it takes the previous variables user miles and user mg and divides them by. And once 500 is divided by 15.5, I get these many miles or gallons of gasoline per year. Of course, we have more variables to talk about, like integer user beef. I chose to use integer because, of course, hopefully you don't consume beef 15.5 times or something like that. So I'm going to say again 5 times. I consume beef 5 times per year. And the last question here is how many times per year do I go on flights? That's also going to be stored in integer because I don't think you can go 2.5 flights per year. So I'm going to say 4 times. Now I have all the variables collected. I have my double user gas, my integer user beef, another integer user flight, and I use these 3 to find the carbon footprint or user footprint, which is stored in the variable double user footprint. I later print this out right here, right in the center here, and in this case, my carbon footprint is 1,745 plus some decimal points. Now, a little fun fact is that this number right here is made from a random number generator that I imported from a Java util random. And using this, I could use integer fact to form a random number between 0 and 500. And this was my carbon footprint calculator.